The NFL season gets underway in just over a week. I'm Jonathan Acosta, joined here by our Bills insider, Vic Carucci. We're going to take a look at the state of this team with just 1 week left until they get things going against the Baltimore Ravens on Sunday Night Football. And Vic, let's start with the roster. Obviously, roster cut day was on Tuesday, the team releasing its initial 53-man roster. Were there any surprises for you about who made the team, or just what are your overall thoughts on the state of this roster as they look ahead to the Ravens next weekend?
I really saw no surprises whatsoever. In fact, I think the surprise would have been if there was a surprise. This is such a hard team to make. It is very much a finished product. Of course, there are areas to address, and I think they took the steps that they felt they needed to address them. We'll see how that works out. But this is not a team that had so many flaws that had to be corrected by any real serious roster makeover. The people who made the team, pretty much you'd expect, and generally speaking, the ones who will contribute to the team are going to be the holdovers from a team that came very close to getting to the Super Bowl.
One of the guys that really earned his spot on the team, Tyrell Shavers, this year. What did you see out of him in camp and preseason? And as someone who's covered this team for a long time, just what do you make of this sort of story of this kind of guy sort of battling for a few years before making the roster finally?
The Shaver story is a great one. Probably the most interesting, I think, of the whole training camp or preseason. And he is a guy who totally earned his place on this team. And I can recall numerous times being out there at St. John Fisher with you and with John Scott and watching from the sidelines. And Shavers would be the one, right, catching our eye as he's catching passes and doing so the difficult routes or the difficult receptions that he made, the outstanding routes that he ran. And he kept that going into the preseason. He made it just impossible for them to part ways with him because they knew somebody was going to grab him if they waived him.
And then very quickly, maybe the surprise coming with the practice squad additions, Jordan Phillips and Jordan Poyer. This team loves themselves some reunions, Vic.
Yeah, they do these retrofits, right? These guys that come back to the fold who want to be there, but our veterans maybe can give them some sort of veteran depth and some leadership possibly in the locker room. But honestly, I don't know that either of them physically at this stage of their careers are going to make major contributions.
Alrighty, the next time we'll see the Bills on the practice field Wednesday as they start to prepare for Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens for the Sunday Night Football kickoff to the season. For Vic Carucci, I'm Jonathan Acosta for Channel 2 Sports.
All right, thanks, Jonathan. And Vic, a reminder, you can watch all of the home opener action right here on Channel 2. Our coverage starts at 6:30 with a special edition of Sports Talk Live. At 7, you can tune into Football Night in America. Then at 8, we kick off the final season at Highmark Stadium. Again, that's Sunday, September 7th, right here on Channel 2.